3, 2, red, 1.
So thanks for sitting down with us here at the show, even though this is going to be on the podcast, Mike. So a couple questions for you. We've seen that a lot of folks utilizing, or we're thinking about utilizing asset management, don't spend enough time thinking about it. They're so concerned with production and the next project, they don't consider about their assets and what media asset management can do for them kind of in a more holistic way. Why is this a bad mindset?
Well, one of the real issues is having the team have access to all the content and able to find it easily. And, there are ratios of people could be spending 5 minutes a day to 2 hours a day or anywhere in between to get and find the right shot for the content. Media asset management allows everybody within the organization to more effectively find that content faster and get work done faster from an overall productivity standpoint. So whether it's 5 minutes and you have 100 editors, or it's 30 minutes a day and you have 5 editors, that turns into real economic issues within the ability of production. So for an example, BBC has over 125,000 searchable clips at Century of archived footage, and the ability to have global licensing businesses and more actively monetize what they've already created and established, but having it where that's accessible and searchable for the team is really critical.
So not all MAMs are created equal, right? So we have some MAMs that have features that enable folks to find things faster, or to monetize their assets, or to retrieve them in a certain way. So when we talk about asset management systems that can do this, what kind of features should users be looking for? What should leadership be looking for when trying to get a MAM to solve some of these challenges?
The real key challenge for the MAM world is, what do you catalog, what do you tag, and more importantly, how can it be automated? And even more specific, how can you leverage AI to have searches on things that you never tagged in the first place? An example is really a matter of looking at the content that's there and being able to say, a Netflix season could be an 8-show season. The real question that everyone can start looking at is, okay, great, that's maybe the high end, but now maybe they want to create vignettes of a character of additional footage they have to create content to monetize money that's already been spent and get an even greater return on the production. And that's what a media asset management system can allow you to do.
So I was reading a report the other day that said something like 83% of users report lost time trying to find content, and over half, like 55, 56%, report having to recreate assets because they're unable to find those. How does that present a challenge, both financially and from a business perspective for organizations?
Well, the key aspect is, if you have the shot that can work for you, you don't want to pay to have that shot recreated. Be it a background footage, be it B-roll, be it an interview clip, being able to access and understand and have the team to be able to very quickly leveraging the media asset management system to find that clip is allowing them to get to production faster from an opportunity cost perspective, but more importantly, not have to pay the costs and the entire process of trying to get a shot right again that you already have the shot, you just can't find it.
So a lot of this has been discussion around kind of the back end, right? Getting the content you need to create something to then output, right? But there's also the concept of taking your existing assets and then being able to remonetize them and using the MAM as the front end to do that. What do you think has more gravitas, or what do you think has more something that should be paid more attention to right now? Is it behind the scenes, or is it for the monetization purpose?
I think it's a hybrid. And I think it's really a matter of every business has different content, different workflow, but the longer tail is really the monetization aspects of taking content you've created and assets where we had one client, Kentucky Educational Television, that they did a documentary on 250 years of Lexington, Kentucky. Now the concept really became what's tagged, what's on tape versus what's available on disc, on how do you find the content to build the story. They've invested in some asset management systems. They're looking at even greater productivity of adding AI search that are more vector based on something that they may not have tagged. But that concept is, their station's been in existence since the 60s, chartered to educate the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the citizens that live there. So the concept is you have this content, how can you now refresh legacy content in a new way to make it newer and create additional content programming, whether you're doing it for public good or for financial gain. But that aspect of the content that you have is how to start mining and getting creative and using other tools that can allow you to say, that's a popular angle that I can stream and drive much higher levels of revenue on existing costs that have already amortized and expensed out of my system.
So as a lot of viewers and consumers are moving to mobile, streaming, OTT, how does that play into the MAM strategy and making sure that the right solution is chosen to satisfy those end viewers or those end users?
Well, a lot of it is recognizing that people are now viewing content differently. Be it, the cord has been cut. There are still people that have cable that still watch linear-based programming, but a lot more people are now saying, I want to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. And I want to watch it in the format that I'm familiar with, whether it's a 30-second clip or a 9-minute video, but they may not have time to do a 22-minute, 60-minute show or watch a movie. And the trends are showing that, where YouTube has just destroyed the entire environment from a content level. And my concept to our clients that have the content is how to basically leverage technologies, scraping the internet and the social feeds of what's hot, and correlate that with what you have to be able to create content to deliver that to the next level of viewers within the trajectory of how people now consume media. So a teenager views media very much differently than a 60-year-old person. And if you have content that could be compelling, it just needs to be repurposed and refunctioned. An asset management system can allow you to do that.
Mike, that's an excellent point. Thank you so much for taking time off the show floor here at NAB New York 2025 for this broadcast to post recording.
Thank you very much. I love being on camera with Key Code Media, and I think you guys are an amazing company.
Thank you.